Look at your smartphone. This pocket supercomputer serves as a marvel of miniaturization and processing power. We tell ourselves a story, a comforting bedtime tale that history follows a straight line. Cave painting to wheel, wheel to steam, steam to silicon. A neat upward climb, a relentless march of progress. Now, consider this. What if that line is a spiral? What if flashes of impossible technology, sophisticated engineering, and even automated systems appeared thousands of years too early, only to vanish? Discard your textbooks. Abandon the neatly catalogued progression. We're about to unearth evidence, hard science, irrefutable data, of ancient civilizations that built climate-controlled homes, precise astronomical computers, and even automated sentinels. Discoveries that, by all rights, shouldn't exist. We'll trace the scans, analyze the anomalies, and peel back the layers of Earth and time to reveal not magic, but undeniable physics. The real mystery isn't could they have built it. It's why didn't it spread? Imagine yourself in a tomb, deep beneath the desert, untouched for millennia. Your remote sensing gear has just cleared the final layer of sediment. As the dust settles, a faint, persistent glow catches your eye. Not a reflection, not a trick of light, but an unmistakable, self-generated luminescence. A lamp, thousands of years old, still emitting a soft, ethereal illumination without any visible fuel source, no wick, no discernible battery. It defies every expectation, every rule of ancient technology, providing a clear challenge to our linear understanding of progress. The whispers always start, alien artifact, lost Atlantean power cell, sorcery from a forgotten age. When confronted with something so utterly anachronistic, it's easy to let the mind wander to the impossible, to magic. However, this wasn't magic. It was physics. Visualize a modern chemical hand, warmer, you might use on a cold day. A contained, slow, exothermic reaction that generates heat. Now, scale that concept, optimizing for longevity over intensity. Envision a meticulously sealed vessel, not with modern chemicals, but with specific mineral compounds, carefully selected radioactive isotopes with incredibly long half-lives. Think thousands of years, or even bioluminescent organisms cultivated in a stable, nutrient-rich, oxygen-deprived environment. The light isn't a powerful beam. It's an incredibly slow, low-energy chemiluminescence, or a phosphorescent material constantly charged by the ambient, almost imperceptible energy release within its perfectly sealed chamber. A true micro-battery, designed to last not hours or days, but millennia. The core issue remains. This wasn't a product for the masses. The technology demanded hyper-specific, rare earth materials, often found only in remote, dangerous locations. Its manufacturing was precise, hazardous, and required immense specialized skill to safely encapsulate these volatile elements. It functioned as a novelty, a sacred object, perhaps a ceremonial beacon for the elite, or a status symbol. It failed to serve as a replacement for the ubiquitous, easily refuelable oil lamp or simple torch. The logistical burden, the sheer difficulty and danger of production, dwarfed any practical benefit for widespread adoption. For those civilizations, efficiency and ease of manufacture consistently triumphed over a niche marvel. Visualize yourself exploring a forgotten underground vault, thousands of years old. As you step, a faint grinding sound emerges, followed by a sudden hiss. A hidden mechanism shifts, and a piercing shriek echoes through the darkness. This wasn't a manual trap. We've unearthed irrefutable evidence of ancient automated defense systems, devices that reacted, moved, and even sounded an alarm autonomously, centuries before the first mechanical clock. Consider a full security system, intricate and responsive, operating without a single human guard. Naturally, the mind races to mythical golems, to spirits guarding forbidden knowledge. How could stone or bronze think or move on its own? without sorcery. Attributing it to magic is the path of least resistance, isn't it? However, this wasn't some mystical enchantment. It was pure, elegant physics. Reflect on the internal workings of a modern vending machine, a series of levers, cams, and counterweights, precisely timed. Apply that principle to water flow or air pressure. A pressure plate on the floor could divert a small stream of water, which then fills a chamber, tipping a lever. That lever might release a stored tension, swinging an arm into place, or opening a valve to a whistle. It functions like a sophisticated water clock, but instead of telling time, it reacts to external stimuli, a vibration, a pressure change, a simple, self-resetting trap. Yes, but designed for observation and warning, not capture. Yet, despite their ingenuity, these systems were incredibly delicate. They demanded constant, meticulous maintenance, precise water pressure, and specialized artisans for every repair. They were prohibitively expensive to build and operate, limited to the highest value targets like royal treasuries or sacred ceremonial sites. The economic margin for widespread adoption simply didn't exist. The cost-benefit analysis, then as now, inevitably hinged upon those margins. Moving from security to comfort, envision a desert city, thousands of years old, where the sun bakes the landscape to an unbearable crisp. Outside, the air shimmers above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet, step inside certain buildings, and you're met with a consistent, refreshing coolness. Beyond mere shade, the climate remains regulated. This isn't a mirage. We're uncovering evidence of sophisticated, ancient air conditioning systems operating without a single watt of electricity or a drop of refrigerant. Naturally, when confronted with such anachronistic marvels, the tales begin. Whispered secrets of forgotten civilizations, divine blessings, or perhaps even blueprints from visitors beyond our world. Crediting the impossible to the supernatural remains a common human impulse. However, this wasn't some mystical gift. It was entirely terrestrial engineering. Our latest LiDAR and thermal imaging reveal intricate subterranean networks. Think of it like a colossal, passive smart home. Deep underground, often tapping into cool aquifers, massive conduits drew in dense, chilled air. This air was then channeled through a building's foundations and walls, exchanging heat simultaneously. Strategically placed wind towers acted as exhaust vents, drawing out warmer, less dense air from the upper levels. It's the Venturi effect, powered by convection on an architectural scale. A gigantic, slow-motion refrigerator using the Earth's stable geothermal temperature as its core cooling element. The sheer scale of these projects, however, was monumental. Constructing these underground networks required vast labor forces, generations of planning, and an understanding of geophysics we only now fully appreciate. These were infrastructure undertakings comparable to building an entire modern subway system. Such advanced climate control was thus an exclusive luxury, reserved for the most powerful rulers, the wealthiest elites, or the most vital strategic strongholds. They didn't need miracles. They needed margins. For the vast majority, the cost-benefit analysis for such immense comfort simply never balanced out. As the sun dips below the Aegean horizon, long shadows stretch over the treacherous depths where ancient ships met their end. Imagine you're a diver, thousands of feet down, exploring a wreck dating back over 2 millennia. Your lights cut through the gloom, revealing not just amphorae and bronze statues, but something else entirely. A corroded, intricate artifact, its gears frozen in time. The Antikythera mechanism is a discovery so profoundly out of place, it redefines everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. It's a mechanical computer, an analog marvel of differential gears and astronomical precision, found almost 2,000 years before anything comparable was supposed to exist. This object immediately ignites the wildest speculation. Did Atlantis rise again? Was it an alien blueprint dropped from the stars? The complexity rivals 18th century clockwork, making it easy to see why some might reach for the supernatural. Rather than a simple calendar, it functions as a device that maps the very ballet of the cosmos. Look closely. Our AI-enhanced radiography has allowed us to virtually peel back the centuries of corrosion, revealing its inner workings. No magic was involved, only physics. Picture the most complex wristwatch you've ever seen, or a mechanical calculator from 100 years ago. Now, imagine that device. Instead of telling time or balancing ledgers, is predicting solar and lunar eclipses, tracking planetary movements, and even counting down to the Olympic Games. Its 30 intricate bronze gears, some no thicker than a credit card, are interlocked in epicyclic trains, translating generations of meticulous astronomical observation into physical motion. It's a testament to mathematical genius and master craftsmanship, using known principles of levers and gears to perform complex computations. It is unequivocally the first known analog computer. If they could build this, why didn't the ancient world become a technological powerhouse of clockwork computers? The Antikythera mechanism was incredibly fragile, painstakingly difficult to manufacture, and required a deep understanding of advanced mathematics and astronomy just to operate. It was never a mass-produced item for every citizen. Instead, it served as a specialist tool, likely crafted by a handful of elite artisans for a very specific, wealthy clientele. The knowledge to build and maintain such devices was a closely guarded secret, easily lost during periods of societal upheaval or economic collapse. The mystery isn't, could they? It's, why didn't it spread? Let's shift our gaze from intricate devices to entire urban landscapes. Imagine a city, thousands of years old, operating with modern precision, citywide resource, waste, and traffic management. We're talking about ancient, smart cities without microchips, running on pure mechanical genius. For centuries, these feats were attributed to utopia, divine intervention, or sorcery. How else could hundreds of thousands live with such order? The scale feels impossible. However, the impossible unravels with basic physics. Our radar and AI maps reveal something extraordinary: vast interconnected aqueducts, siphons, and sewer lines. Many were equipped with automated gates and valves, controlled by simple hydrostatic pressure or clever counterweights. Consider a public water fountain that automatically refills, or a self-flushing waste system. Such innovations represent fluid dynamics and gravity, scaled up to manage an entire urban center. These achievements were never supernatural. They were engineering. So, why aren't these self-regulating cities in every history book? The answer: colossal investment. These systems demanded generations of stable, centralized authority, a highly skilled workforce for constant maintenance, and an economy capable of sustaining such public works. When empires fractured, trade routes collapsed, or specialized knowledge faded, these complex, interdependent networks became impossible to maintain. They didn't need miracles. They needed margins, the cost of labor and materials. Over time, often overshadowed benefits when simpler, less efficient methods were available. The infrastructure decayed, buried by the civilizations it once sustained. We've peeled back the layers of millennia. We've seen the impossible made real. Ancient computing devices calculating planetary movements, intricate smart home features, city-scale automated systems managing water and waste. Yet here is the brutal truth, the one that history books usually skip. These astonishing breakthroughs, these flashes of advanced physics and unparalleled engineering, they didn't endure. They didn't lead to a sustained technological revolution. They appeared, thrived for a time, and then vanished. How did this advanced knowledge fail to become the norm? Why did it disappear for thousands of years? For some, the answer is simple: cataclysmic floods, alien intervention, or a secret cabal deliberately suppressing knowledge. Fun theories, great for cinema. However, our scans, our logistics, and the raw data tell a far more grounded and, frankly, more tragic story. Consider any of these marvels we've uncovered. The Antikythera mechanism, Those self-regulating water systems, they required immense capital, specialized materials, years of dedicated, highly skilled labor. Picture trying to build a modern supercomputer entirely by hand, without factories, without industrial-scale power. Each ancient wonder was a bespoke masterpiece, not a mass-produced item. It wasn't just about the invention, it was about the entire ecosystem required to create and maintain it. Imagine running a global shipping network with only handcrafted wooden ships, each taking a decade to build. When empires faltered, when trade routes became battlefields, when the price of materials skyrocketed and skilled artisans scattered or died, the return on investment vanished. It became cheaper, simpler, to just use manual labor, to revert to brute force. The very innovation that could have saved them became an unaffordable luxury. The mystery isn't, could they? It's, why didn't it spread? Such is the fragility of human systems. Empires crumble. Knowledge is specialized, not universal. Political will evaporates. We face a constant struggle between maintaining complexity and the perceived ease of simpler, less efficient methods. Innovation isn't just about genius, it's about sustained economic and social viability. Without that, even the most revolutionary ideas become footnotes, buried by the very dust of time they tried to conquer. History isn't a straight line, it's a spiral. This unyielding truth has guided our journey through the impossible. We've unearthed not just artifacts, but entire systems of advanced engineering operating millennia too soon. These weren't lucky accidents. No sorcery was involved. Instead, we see sophisticated physics applied with a precision we rarely acknowledge. Now, pause and consider your own time. Look at the device in your hand. Observe its intricate circuitry and global connectivity. Envision the invisible networks powering our smart homes, automated factories, and city climate control. 5,000 years from now, imagine an archaeologist unearthing these remnants of our digital age. They'll find a smartphone, a pocket supercomputer, inert without its vanished network. They'll discover skeletal data centers and dead power grids. They will ask the same questions we've posed. How did they build this? And then, the more haunting query, why did it all disappear? The tragedy isn't knowledge lost. It's the profound fragility of economic and social structures that enabled such brilliance. If they forgot how to sustain their marvels, what makes us think our own civilization is immune?